Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be discussing another really just intelligent, hard-hitting article that was published on Babe right before the new year, December 26th, 2017. This article is titled, "You should sleep with at least 25 guys before settling down, and I'll tell you exactly why. Ideally more, but you know, whatever." So okay. I was willing to really hear this article out, especially because I was kind of expecting to have some science in it or some statistics, you know, something that is more than just some blabbering person's opinion, right? So first of all, Amanda Ross, the writer of this article, says that throughout history it's been the bravest of souls who have had to fight and die and become immortalized for their beliefs. Joan of Arc, Gandhi, Jesus, and now me, martyrs for a cause. The fact that I'm about to suffer dozens of comments calling me a slut should prove to you exactly how serious I am about the thesis of this article. You have to sleep with at least 25 men before you settle down. So I know that it's like an ironic kind of sarcastic way of comparing herself to these people, but I still think it's just kind of not funny and dumb. So this article goes on for quite a while, and I really want to talk about the key points it makes because those are really the issues here. So she gives examples like you try on shoes before you buy them, you ask the girl at the yogurt shop for like 50 little sample cups before deciding on a flavor, you test drive cars before driving them off the lot, so why wouldn't you make an equally informed decision before committing to one guy/dick? So this is the thing, this article is very crass to the point where it makes me cringe, which is rare because I can deal with a lot of it, but just the way it's put is so incredibly cringy. So the article is weird because she conflates guys with just their genitalia, like she says guy/dick, that should tell you everything, right? So here then she goes into detail saying, what if like an uncut left curving dick is the one thing you need to orgasm, but you'll never know it because the guy you've been dating since age 13 has a dick like a baby carrot. So the thing is that what Amanda Ross does in this article is effectively takes away any emotion from these so-called relationships she's talking about. Because let's say you settle down with a guy that you met in high school and you guys are in love and you can't think of anyone else better for you in the world. Automatically, the sex is going to be better because you are in love with that person, and even if they're not perfect, with communication, because that's how relationships work, you can find a way to like satisfy each other without having to have the left curving dick, like but to Amanda here, it just seems like this game of numbers where 25 is such a specific number, but there's no backing up of why it has to be 25 and not 37 or 16, but whatever, is that if we put ourselves in Amanda's shoes and say, yes, you have to sleep with at least 25 guys. Okay, so let's say I do that. Let's say I sleep with 27 guys and I found ones that I feel best with in bed. That doesn't really mean anything in terms of a relationship. Like there are plenty of people who have sex together and have great sex and then have nothing to talk about except for the weather, you know? So this article is interesting because it's treating men as if they're only about their genitalia in terms of a relationship. And I'm like, if you're talking about hookups, great. You know, have sex with a million people, figure out what kind of dick you need to hook up with, I guess. This is so cringy. And go for it. But the thing is, like, here she's talking about settling down, and she's conflating the idea of finding the perfect genital and sex to settling down and being happy forever, which just, there's a relationship there, but you can't just equate it as like, oh yeah, if you're having great sex, like that's when you can settle down and things are good, you know? At the very end, she says, sex is fun, like really fun. Finally, we come to our most important point. Having indiscriminate sex is really fun. If you're on some kind of contraception and always use a condom, why shouldn't you Samantha Jones it and casually bone everyone you've ever encountered? So this is fine if that's the way that Amanda Ross sees it. The thing is, and we're going to look at the comments after, but most people have very different views about sex. Like there's some people who are completely indiscriminate, then there's some people like me who are very particular. And according to this article, then I would be, you know, like a failure because counting my husband, I've only had sex with 2 people. So, I mean, and I'm completely happy in my relationship and everything is fine. I've settled down. So it's just like there are so many examples of why this article makes no sense. It's just wild to me that it's still up. But rather than focusing too much on, you know, her continuous thing of there are 8 billion people in the world, so how do you know that you're with the right person? And in that logic, you're never going to know if you're with the right person, because it's not like you're going to be able to have sex with every single person that you're attracted to in the world, right? Anyways, I digress. So I thought we could look at the comments just to see how people were taking this article. So here there was a guy who made a point that I really liked, and he said, okay ladies, here's some advice from someone who's actually old and qualified to provide life advice and who's not merely trolling you with a clickbait "you should sleep with 25 guys" headline. If you line each of us men end to end and you choose which one of us fucks the best and you try to settle down with whoever the best fuck is, you're going to have a shitty life. This is because sex is like 30% of a long-term relationship. And if you think all you want is a man who rocks your box, you are going to be sorely disappointed when you hit 35 and you've given the best years of your life to a screaming misogynist with a big dick. So do yourselves a favor and find a man who gets you off well enough, but more importantly is your best friend. Follow this advice and you have a shot at lifelong happiness. Ignore this advice and grow old and bitter with a collection of cats. Peace out, y'all. So he did make a good point that, you know, there is obviously more to a relationship than just the sexual aspect, and obviously you want to be pleased in every aspect of a relationship, but to put that first is silly, because when emotions are involved, the thing called love that nobody refers to in this article, it's also very different, because the way you experience sex with someone that you're in love with compared to sex with a random hookup is going to be very different, I'm assuming. So here we have a woman who said, only 25, out of those 25, only 13 eat pussy. Out of those 13, only 7 are good at it. Out of those 7, you only had a second date with 2. Out of those 2, neither of them have their actual names stored in your phone. Thing is, your number doesn't count if you never had any type of emotional connection with your partner. Gotta flex your heart muscle, not your pussy muscle. Find your balance. So I agree with part of that, you know, like I just said, emotion has to be a part of it. But this, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm kind of traditional about this stuff, but this kind of crass way of describing sexual encounters, it's just such a huge like cringe for me. But of course you want to find someone that pleases you sexually, but the thing is, unless you're hooking up, the reason you are going to get to the point of having a sexual whatever with someone is because you like something about them, right? So that should count for something. And then here, this comment made me laugh. It said, you should try at least 25 types of heroin. How do you know you already got the max pleasure? The point is, do what the fuck you want. It's almost 2018. Nobody gives a shit if you have fucked 500 guys or if you're a virgin. I'm pretty sure that and I'm pretty sure that suggesting to try 25 dicks is not a good idea, at least for a lot of the girls that I know. It's not that easy. You don't have sex, then you go home and it's like, wow, such a great bad experience, then you go to sleep. Some of us live these things in an intense manner, and I hope I will never have sex with 25 girls just because that will completely destroy my brain. Do what you want. This article is bullshit. I tend to agree with him. Like I said, a lot of people experience sex in very different ways, and this article was kind of acting like everyone is just gonna jump at the first opportunity to have sex with some random person, when that's not true. And it's fine if you want to, but I'm just saying, don't act like everyone lives it the same way. So here there was another guy that commented, feminists, promiscuity is good and women should be able to sleep around with however many men without any consequences or stigma. Also feminists, men are all the same, only interested in sex and will inevitably objectify and cheat on you. So I thought all of these were funny, but you know, in the end, so I think one of the most lacking parts of this article is just really talking about the emotional aspect of all of this. And if she had done that, I think it would have been a lot more interesting, because here it's pretty much try and find, you know, what it is that you like in bed and then settle down with that person. And it's just not that simple. And if you live it that simply, you're probably going to end up regretting things. This article positions itself as if sex is going to be the only thing that will give you you know, fulfillment within a relationship, which is not true. It's part, sure, but I mean, you can't say that couples that have been together for 50 years, you're gonna say, oh yeah, like, it's just about the sex, I don't really like her personality or anything, you know what I mean? But anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this. The article is kind of long, so I'm going to link it so you can make up your own mind after you read it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's get into the fan art.